Уличка. Hi, I'm Mike Gibson, and this is ExPatting Russia. I've lived in Russia for 27 years, and I totally love this place. So I thought I'd share some Russian stories with you. This is a big country with a big heart and big stories to tell. VDNKh, or the Exhibition of Achievements of the National Economy, was created to display the wonders of the Soviet Union. This is a fabulous and unique place to walk around. It's so full of history, things to see, and so much to do.
In front of us is the main entrance to the park. This arch, together with the sculpture Tractor Driver and Collective Farmer, is 32 meters high. Nearby is the iconic sculpture of Vera Mukhina, worker and collective farmer. This monument was originally made for the USSR pavilion at the 1937 World Fair in Paris, and then brought back and placed here near the entrance to the park.
At the center is the Friendship of Nations fountain. Each statue here represents a woman from the different republics in their national costume.
This is one of the symbols not only of VDNKh, but also for Moscow. There are a total of 16 golden women here. Each woman holds an agricultural plant, which was typically grown in her native republic. There are a lot of fountains in the park, and they're all rather special and unique. Here, for example, is the Stoneflower Fountain.
So amazing.
And this is the famous Kolos fountain in the shape of an ear of corn. VDNKh is an entire exhibition destination. It opened in 1939 as the All-Union Agricultural Exhibition. In 1959, after restructuring, it was renamed the Exhibition of Achievements of the National Economy, or VDNKh. All nations of the Soviet Union came here to show their achievements. Today, it's popular among tourists and Moscow residents alike, especially the beautiful national pavilions.
Kazakhstan! And this is Kyrgyzstan, Armenia, Moldova. And this pavilion is the Robo-Stanza, which is particularly popular with kids. Whoa, look at their hats. I want a hat like that. That's so cool.
During the Perestroika era, the country's main exhibition became a large shopping center. Many historical buildings were badly damaged. It took the Moscow government almost 7 years to carry out the largest comprehensive restoration in the history of VDNKh. Pavilions were restored to their original historical appearance.
And here is the amazing Space Pavilion. We're going there next. Wow.
This is a huge, world-class museum dedicated to the history of Soviet cosmonautics.
And here's Laika, the first living being in space.
There's a large collection of authentic space technology, space stations, rocket engines, spacesuits, and even space food. Some exhibits have actually been in space.
В таком скафандре в открытый космос выходил Алексей Леонов. Это был первый в истории выход в открытый космос. В 1965 году, 17 марта. Скафандр светлый, белый, чтобы отражать солнечные лучи. Есть фотоаппарат, карманы, но в шлеме он не может опустить голову, не может посмотреть на скафандр. Зеркало помогает ему это все увидеть. Он, подносит зеркало, и все в отражении видно.
This suit was designed for 30 minutes in outer space. The mission was a success.
So these are paintings by Leonov, who was himself an artist. That sketch was done by Leonov in space.
You can also visit an incredible full-scale replica of the Mir space station. It is truly awesome.
Этот цилиндр коричневый – это баня. У космонавтов на станции Мир была возможность попариться. Человек залезает внутрь, подается пар, и у них был веник. Американские астронавты немножко его боялись.
What a fantastic piece of history, and I love the cosmic sauna.
After passing through the central hall, you will see an exhibition of modern satellites. A little further away is the International Space Station Mission Control Center.
Мы видим макет лунохода. Наверное, это самый известный советский космический аппарат. Таких было всего 2. Их запускали на Луну, чтобы выбрать место будущей выставки советских космонавтов. В итоге наши космонавты на Луну не полетели, но луноходы занимались там своей работой, катались по поверхности Луны, изучали ее.
А скажи, что здесь?
Майкл, приглашаю вас слетать до Луны и обратно.
Вау!
Входим в плотные слои атмосферы.
О.
Приступаем к посадке.
Super. Why am I speaking Russian? That was kind of really interesting. The best bit actually was docking with the International Space Station. I love that little bit. It's a real insight into kind of what it looks like close up. Very cool.
The territory of VDNKh is simply massive, 300 hectares. It would take at least 2 days to get around everything. And of course, don't forget to eat.
So here we are at the food court, which has lots of different yummy things to try. And here are my favourite ponchiki, or donuts, which I simply can't walk past without having one. Oh, these are so good. It is so good. Hot. You just can't help eating this without getting powder everywhere.
After lunch, we visited another pavilion, the Museum of Transport. Here is the exhibition The Muscovite Dream, a beautifully designed exhibition telling the story of the legendary Soviet car, the Moskvich.
Первое, что мы с вами увидим, это первый автомобиль в Советском Союзе, народный автомобиль. Слово «москвич», оно легче для иностранцев выговаривается, потому что завод называется МЗМА – Московский завод малолитражных автомобилей.
Later, the car factory was renamed AZLK after Lenin, but people always just called it Moskvich.
And so here are pictures of all the team that produced these cars in the factory.
The exhibition Muscovite Dream includes 30 cars from the transport collection and many other artifacts. You can even see an early wooden car here with the nickname Pinocchio or Woody.
После войны в Советском Союзе нужно было экономить металл. Металла было не так много. Нужно было отстраивать города, нужно было строить армию. И поэтому металл на машины шел по остаточному принципу. А вот перед нами машина, которая народу не продавалась. Этот автомобиль служил на заводах, на предприятиях, как развозной фургон. 200 килограмм туда можно было погрузить. Такие машины служили, правда, недолго. 5-6 лет их списывали.
The collection has the first Soviet engine, which was created for the country's participation in Formula One.
Вот такой же «Москвич», например, мог принимать участие в тех ралли. Конечно же, машина как будто бы сходила с завода именно так же, но она уже была доработана под специальное участие в гонках.
At the end of the exhibition, visitors can participate in filming a scene from a cult Soviet film, The Green Light, which has a Moskvich car in the main role.
This is fun. So I'm about to drive a taxi. It's a scene from a well-known Russian movie. There is an actress here who is talking to me. We're going to recreate this. I've actually got the words on an auto cue that I can read. Well, that was fun. Let's go and see what it looks like. So all I do now is photograph my QR code and we can actually see the film. So it's all written here on the auto cue.
Вот, например, наш Мурманск.
Maybe.
Веселый, бесшабашный. Ну, город-морячок. А Москва? Какая она?
Ну, какая работяга. Вечно торопится, спешит, деловая.
VDNKh is a fascinating and unique mirror of Soviet history. There is also a huge park area. You can walk for hours and enjoy the wonderful nature in the park.
At the back of VDNKh, there's a wild nature park, and I particularly love this elevated eco trail that goes through the treetops. It's beautiful. It's bigger than the Principality of Monaco. You can come back here time and time again and always find something new to do. We hope you enjoyed our program and we'll come back and watch us again. And please do subscribe to ExPatting Russia down below. Bye. Armenia, okay. Ow, ow, ow. This is fun.